Steve, sort of a grandpa figure in my life. And so to get to be with him tonight is just special. I will tell you how this all came about, because the board, the Straight Pants board, called me and they said, Steve, would you come and would you tell some jokes about Steve, because his head is starting to get a little big. And I said, well, I was just on a cruise with him. You should check out his stomach, because that has, yeah, seriously. The economy is not the only thing that's had some inflation recently. So, Steve and I were on the ship. We had a great time. And if you've never been on a cruise, they load you on as passengers and they roll you off as cargo. And so they do fill you up pretty good. And I saw Steve, I know, in his defense, I met up with him one time at the gym on board the ship, and I said, what in the world are you doing here? And he said, I'm lost, I'm trying to look for the buffet. But in all fairness, he did work out. I mean, it's not long, it was like 15 minutes, and then as soon as he's done, he goes over very proud of himself, he goes to the scale, because you know there's a scale, and then he goes like, and he sucks it in. And I said, Steve, just so you know, if you suck it in, that will not change the numbers on the scale. And he said, no, I'm just trying to be able to see the numbers on the scale. I have another note here. It says, Steve, thank you so much for making your sermons available online. I listen to them almost every night, and they help me fall asleep very quickly. So that's from Nelson Koblenz. That's nice. And a final one, this is sweet. Dear Steve, I wanted to write you a quick note. With you being so busy, we have not been able to catch up. Recently, there were some things that have happened in my life recently. I was hoping we could sit down and talk about that, perhaps over some coffee sometime. Love, Dorcas, so that's great. Well, they now have Stutzman Christian GPS apps that you can get, and they have like Steve's voice to narrate you wherever you want to go, which is really cool. I mean, there's other settings. You can do the Catholic version. If you mess up, it says say 5 Hail Marys and do a U-turn, so that works out well. They've got the Baptist version, which is great. You'd never have to change or recharge the battery on your phone, because it's once charged, always charged. And the Calvinist version, you type it in, and it elects where you go. So that works out really well. I just want you to be clear, Steve. I know it sounds like a great idea. Why hadn't this come out before? Denominational GPSs. This is not original to him. The Mormons came up with it first. In fact, he told me there was a Mormon guy said he had 3 different GPS ladies telling him where to go. So yeah, so, you'll want to think on that one just a hair. And he said, you know how my voice is, and I said, I do. And he said, would you be willing to sing it? And I said, for a small additional charge, I would be, yes. And so we're going to do this. Go make some dinner while I watch this fishing show. I taped it over our old wedding video. If you're a man who wants to live a long and happy life, these are things you don't say to your wife.
There we go. Oh my goodness, it is good to be here with everybody. Oh, there is Steve. Hey, Stevie!
Now, we know Steve from way back, and you do too.
My word, I remember that.
When we were on the bus with him.
I remember way back before Steve was even a Christian.
Is that right?
Yeah, he used to have a tattoo of a ship on his chest.
Is that right?
But now it's on his stomach.
Yeah. But he's getting a little older now.
Yes, yeah, he's got gray hair now as long as he lives, and Dorcas has got red hair as long as she dies. That's a good one, Leroy, isn't it? He's not sure if he's allowed to let it out. Yeah, that's right.
So I went along to school with them one day. Somewhere during the day, I don't know why, and I don't remember, neither one of us remember why, but somebody started teasing me about this girl with red hair. And I just kind of looked at her. I mean, I'm 14. Girls have cooties. I'm just not into this at all. And they're teasing me about this girl, and I looked at her and I said, why would somebody want a girl that has carrots growing upside down out of their head?
He was a charmer.
Well, my mom called the school and said, you need to go home tonight with Wilbur Krupp's children. They just started laughing and carried on, and they said, that's the redheaded girl. So I went to her, and I said, guess what? Come down out of the tree. We're coming to your house for tea. And well, her mom came to pick us up at school.
Yeah, of all days to bring the pickup instead of the car. It was not a good day. I had to sit beside him the whole way home.
There's no options.
It was a whole mile and a quarter. But it seemed much longer.
Anyway, by the time we got, you're talking about love at first sight, you know. By the time we got back there to the house, she was just fuming mad. I don't remember this at all. But she went into the house and she stomped her little hoof and she told her mom, I hate that kid. I just hate him. And her mom said, well, you're not supposed to hate people. And she said, when God made that rule, he did not know Steve Stutzman.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
4 years later, they're driving through the state. She's now 16 years old.
And somebody got the bright idea to stop at the Stutzmans. So I put two and two together. I was like, that's that crazy kid. I ain't getting out of the vehicle. So I sat in the vehicle until I found out he wasn't home. Then I came out.
7-Up bottle. And you had to take your belt loose and drop this pop bottle. It had to go all the way through your pants.
So awkward.
If it didn't, your pants were too tight. So
You would actually do that.
I split one right in the middle of the crotch. I'm telling you, what do you do now? I don't know how to sew. So I took him to her. And I said, do you know how to sew?
It's like you're asking a Mennonite girl if she knows how to sew. I mean, tell her. So yeah, so I could tell he was terribly embarrassed, and I didn't know what I needed to sew, but I figured I knew how to sew it. Like, I mean, you know, I can sew anything. And then he just very embarrassedly hands me this pair of pants, and I started looking. I was like, oh my word. So I felt a little sorry for him. So I just put him right at ease. I said, oh, no problem. I said, I'll take care of it. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. Just tried to, you know, but oh, I was so excited. I went into the and he has a pair of black pants, and I threaded that sewing machine with hot pink.
Impressive. I would just go anywhere with anybody just to get away from here. I said, pick me. Me and my friend, we're leaving this weekend. We're going to a wedding in another part of the state. So she fussed a little bit, and she said, well, if my friend can go along. So she got her friend, and we got in this little car, and I'm in the passenger seat. Two girls are sitting in the back. It's close to Valentine's Day. So, of course, these girls are sitting back there tittering and giggling, and they've got Valentines in there, and they look at the Valentine like, hee hee hee. And I kept talking about her in the back and how that she's talking all the time and asking the guy beside me, do you know what kind of girls we have with us? Like, are they okay? Because I don't know if they're okay the way they're acting all the time. They're flirting, and I just don't know, if this is good. And
I began to steam hotter and hotter in the back seat. I don't even remember what it was that he said, but whatever it was just pushed me over the edge, and my red hair began to flame, and I didn't have anything else to throw, so I grabbed a handful of candy hearts and I just threw them at him. Well, any self-respecting young man would just, pick them up and hand them back, right? I mean, that seems clear, but no, not Steve. Steve began to pick them up one by one. He's like, kiss me. He looked in horror to, his friend's like, what kind of a girl is this? And she next would hug me. Oh my. Why don't you just come right out and say it?
I was having fun. I said, hang on here a little bit. I went and got Dorcas and brought her in there, and I said, this is Dorcas Krupp, and she'll feel right at home here with all these kids.
I just literally turned on my heel and walked straight out. And there is no reason to even answer that.
So we went out to the car, and I went to take her over to the place where she's going to be staying that night. She and the other girl were going to be staying somewhere else. So on the way out, I talked to the other girl, and she hopped in the back, which left the front for Dorcas. So Dorcas hopped in the front seat there, and I got in the driver's seat, and I drove him over there. And she's just steaming all the way.
I was, but all the way over, Steve is just earnestly telling me, look, somehow we've got off on the wrong foot here. He's like, I'm this really nice guy. You need to understand, I am just this really, really nice guy. And to prove it to you, when we get here, you just stay seated right there. And I will come around and open the door for you. And I was like, no, thank you. That's fine. I can open my own door. I'm fine. But what I didn't know was that the door handle was broken on the inside. He knew that. I didn't know that. So when we got there, and he's admonishing me, just stay right there. Open your door, And I'm just like, trying to get this door open, and he's walking around in front of the car just grinning like a mule eating cactus. He opens the door. Well, I'm searching for things to throw, and I found this hamburger. I threw it at him, missed him by a country mile, which of course he had words about that. Well, there was nothing else to do but go walk into this house, and it was my friend that was along. It was her sister's house. So we're walking up. My friend's going first because, it's her sister's house. I'm following her, and Steve's coming up behind, bringing the suitcases, right? But he's doing this running commentary as we're walking up there. And he's like, I just remember him saying, those heels, I wonder what would happen if they get stuck in one of these cracks. Who even does this? Well, so I'm really, really steaming by the time we get up there. Get up to the porch, the door opens. My friend's sister comes out, gives my friend a big hug, and then she, stops and looks at Steve and I, and she says, oh, she said, Steve, I didn't know you were dating.
I said, I didn't either. Well, she's sitting beside this old lady. I don't know who the old lady was, but she was a perceptive old bird. And she sat there for a while, and she said to Dorcas,
she leans over and she kind of whispers to me, she said, are you guys dating? No! She leaned over again and she's like, do you like him? No! So she just smiled sweetly and we kept on eating, and I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 minutes passed, and she leaned over again and she whispered in my ear, she said, would you date him if he asked? And it's like the whole world stopped right there, and red hair and boiling frustration just came right up out of me, and I yelled, no! And all of a sudden I realized I'm sitting at a dinner table with 20 people.
Sunday afternoon, she just yelled, no! I'm looking up like everybody else did, and I said, well, we don't know the question, but we all got the answer.